now present For the Record.
Just ahead, a lifelong stigma and an uncharged crime.
It was a big battle trying to get people to understand that that's not who I am.
How newsrooms like ours are reckoning.
These can have very, very serious detrimental effects.
Plus, a police take on police perception in Wisconsin. Why should people trust the results of this poll?
It is very representative of the state.
But first, a leaked Supreme Court draft opinion rocks the country, showing Roe v. Wade may be overturned. That's where For the Record begins today. Good morning. I'm Naomi Coles. Wisconsinites took to the streets by the thousands this week in protest of that leaked opinion. We're one of a handful of states nationwide with pre-Roe state laws that would go back into effect, banning nearly all abortions. For more on how this impacts women in Wisconsin, we're going first to Jenny Higgins, director of UW's Collaborative for Reproductive Equity. Jenny, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
So besides the fact that this draft opinion does not represent an immediate overturn, there's still no final decision here, what should women in Wisconsin know about this?
Yeah, it's a great question, and I do want to emphasize abortion is still legal and still available in Wisconsin and elsewhere, and so folks should definitely know that they can still get abortions legal here in our state for the moment. However, if Roe is overturned, which seems likely, we're relatively certain that abortion services would no longer be available in our state. And so we know that when folks are denied desired abortions, they're more likely to suffer a variety of consequences to their health and well-being. Less likely to achieve post-secondary education, more likely to stay in abusive relationships, more likely to be in worse economic conditions. So it's really important to recognize the consequences to Wisconsinites of not having abortion be available to them.
Where can women get an abortion right now in Wisconsin? And second part to this question, if Roe v. Wade is overturned, where could they go out of state to get one?
Right. So currently in Wisconsin, abortion services are available at a number of Planned Parenthood clinics, one in Madison, one in Milwaukee, and one that offers medication-only abortion services in Sheboygan. There's also a clinic in Milwaukee called Affiliated Medical Services where folks can get abortion services. So those are the places where currently folks can get online services. We do expect that if abortion services are not available here, that at least some people will be able to cross state lines to get abortions elsewhere. So we live next to two haven states, Minnesota and Illinois, that have protections in place that even if Roe were to fall, those states would continue to have abortion be legal and available.
As we know, an old state law would make abortions illegal for all but saving a mother's life. Now, Attorney General Josh Kaul has said he won't enforce it, but how does this law break down?
Even the public policy folks are urging caution around thinking we have total clarity around exactly how this law would be enforced or if it would be enforced. But we do know that the law focuses on the person who provides the abortion versus the person who receives it. So under the law, the 1849 statute, the provider would be committing a felony by providing abortion, but the person who receives the abortion would not. If providers like Planned Parenthood of Wisconsin cease offering abortion services, as they will do if there are concerns that what they're doing is potentially going against the law, then it doesn't really matter if people are enforcing the ban or not. If services are not available, Wisconsinites can't get access to those services within our state.
Jenny, thanks so much for joining us today. For some, this draft decision is a culmination of years of advocacy. I'm joined next by Gracie Scoggman from Wisconsin Right to Life. Gracie, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
What was your kickback reaction to the news of this leaked opinion?
Cautiously optimistic. We would, of course, love nothing more than to see Roe overturned and banished to the past. But of course, this is only a draft, so cautiously optimistic.
There was a survey of more than 900 doctors at UW School of Medicine and Public Health. These physicians overwhelmingly opposed ending abortion access because of its risk to women's health and the likely increase, if this is overturned, of unsafe abortions. What's kind of the Right to Life perspective on abortion access and the risk to women when that is repealed?
Absolutely. Well, we know that the very sad reality for many women is that they state overwhelmingly when they are seeking abortions that they may be feeling pressure from others. They may have financial concerns, concerns about getting medical care for themselves and their preborn child. So we instead focus on that and how we can continue to meet the need for women who may be in challenging pregnancies. And we also focus quite a bit on the push from the abortion industry to actually provide the majority of abortions here in Wisconsin are chemical, and that is abortion by pill, oftentimes through the mail. And that push actually puts women's health in incredible danger. It's 4 times more damaging than surgical abortion, and we feel that there needs to be actually a much larger discussion on that and the negative effects to women's health.
What are the specific resources and supports that Right to Life would advocate for mothers who are not prepared to have a baby?
Absolutely. Well, first and foremost, we fully support the impactful work of pregnancy resource centers here in Wisconsin. And nationwide, there are actually 5 free pregnancy resource centers providing medical care and support to women for every 1 abortion provider. So we would like to see those centers fully equipped with more medical services, more hours of operation, being able to offer more free support. And we also want to look at programs similar to what has been implemented in states like Texas, where they have state-funded programs that provide more funding to adoption agencies and to other alternatives for women. So we certainly realize that there is a need on behalf of women, and we want to do what we can at a community and legislative level to try to fill that.
All right, Gracie, I really appreciate you taking a few minutes of your time today. A quick fact check. I checked several medical studies after taping Gracie's interview about the claim she made that chemical abortions are 4 times more dangerous than surgical. Several peer-reviewed medical studies have not found any difference in either effectiveness or safety of medication versus surgical abortions. Both have extremely high rates of safety, with death in childbirth about 14 times more likely than death from either kind of abortion. That's according to the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists. Now, coming up next, for one Madison man, the lifelong stigma of an uncharged crime, how we and some newsrooms across the country are reckoning with our responsibilities when naming people in crime stories.